What's up, everybody? This is Patrick Sugo with Sugo Real Estate Services in Fort Collins, Colorado, coming at you from my new office and new filming location. I understand it's a little bit echoey, and over time I will try to increase the production value. I bought some new materials and just trying to make that a better experience for you. Real quickly, over the last 3 weeks, or actually over the last 2 weeks, I've been approached by 2 different individuals and I've been working with a third on more of a mentorship basis. They've been watching some of these videos, seeing what I've been doing in my career, and asking me if I'd be willing to kind of sit down with them, help them understand how I've got where I've gotten. And I am by no means where I want to be, but I am working my butt off to try to get to that, goal, which really in my mind is a process of having fun, buying, selling, investing, managing, flipping, holding, all things considered real estate. So today we're going to jump in on one of the questions that one of my mentees asked me of what is a buyer's versus seller's market? All right, so really easily defined, a buyer's market is where supply is outpacing demand, and generally you might be seeing a reduction in prices. Conversely, seller's market is going to be where you're going to see a decrease of supply and increase of demand, and basically equating to a higher priced inventory, a higher priced market. So the easiest way to determine a seller's versus buyer's market, comparatively to just asking your buddy or reading an article talking about how hot or cold the market is months of inventory. Generally speaking, historically, 6 months of supply is a balanced market, a market equilibrium, meaning that it is just as favorable to sellers as it is to buyers. So anything higher than 6 months would be a buyer's market, anything less than 6 months would be a seller's market. And obviously it can go to extremes for that. So how to calculate that would be months supply equals number of active homes on the market divided by number of homes sold. So essentially, if there is 1,000 homes that are active on the market and 200 sold in 1 month's time period, that would give you 5 months supply. So generally speaking, that would be a seller's market. So we've talked about what month supply of inventory looks like and what an equilibrium is, as 6 months would be considered not a buyer's, not a seller's market. So let's look at what Fort Collins has done since 2010. And you can see post the 2007, 8, 9 Great Recession that really was brought on by the housing market. In 2010, we had 8 months supply, considered a buyer's market. If you had bought at that time, maybe you had an opportunity to get some deals, potentially pick up some really well-priced properties. And then basically from there, it's become more and more of a seller's market, dropping to 6.1, 3, 2.7, and ultimately kind of hovering around that 1 to 2 markets, 1 to 2 months. Ultimately, it's tough to get below that because 1 month supply is essentially as many homes are coming onto the market or as many that are selling. So you can't really go less than 1, even though right now we're technically at 0.9, but of August of 2020, we're at 1.1 months of inventory. Buyers and sellers markets are completely market driven. And what I mean by that is right now people are vacating New York City and leaving the major metros and coming to the burbs. So those markets could be absolute buyer's markets, statistically speaking, comparatively to what Northern Colorado is as a strong seller's market. And even there, you could have differences between submarkets. Right now in downtown Fort Collins, we have about 1.5 to 2 months of supply. And then looking at Southeast Fort Collins, we have less than a month's supply. So when you go searching for those properties in different markets, in different submarkets, understand that the way they're acting, the way to negotiate could be a little bit different. Now I understand submarkets could really not have that much of a difference, but it's something to take note of. I might negotiate a little bit harder on a downtown property right now than I would on a southeast property. It's also understanding what does inventory do during the different seasons. Here in Fort Collins in Northern Colorado, we have a summer selling season. Similar to many different areas in the real estate market, summers always generally act stronger. People don't like to move during the cold winter months. So what will happen is inventory, this is a supply versus your month, time of the year. Inventory in the last 8 years will go no less than 3 months supply, but during the winter months, it's going to be up around 3 and drop to 1. And so it's just going to be a nice little bell curve over those times. So what that means to you is it could be a better opportunity for you to buy during the winter months and sell during the summer months. But there generally is also less inventory during those winter months. So what does that mean to you? Should you only be buying in a buyer's market and only be selling in a seller's market? I would say absolutely not. I would say never try to time the market. Understand what your goals, aspirations are, what your ability to afford the mortgages for the next 3 to 5 years. And if you want to own, if you want the responsibility of painting the exterior, mowing your lawn, or if you prefer to rent, what are your goals? Don't just buy when it's a buyer's market and sell when it's a seller's market, and don't try to time the market. It's important to understand what type of market you're in. If it's a buyer's market, understand that you might be having to negotiate as a seller. You might need the best marketing out there. And if it's a seller's market, understand as a buyer, you're gonna need to be opportunistic, patient, understand what the market's doing, understand how many days on market, price per square foot, and how long you have to submit an offer. If you are really in love with the house and it's a seller's market like it is right now and it's only 1 month of inventory, you might need to be writing an offer an hour after you are viewing the property. Conversely, if it's a buyer's market, don't just buy the first opportunity that comes across your plate. Understand that there's going to be a lot of opportunities and be picky. A buyer's versus seller's market is just telling you how the market is behaving. It doesn't mean that you should be a buyer or seller. If I had listened to it being a seller's market in 2012 and 13, when I really began buying and building my portfolio of rental properties and didn't buy anything, I would be nowhere near where I am today. And those properties that I bought in 2012 and 13 are worth double what they are worth today. So, and right now, should I be selling those properties? Maybe. Will I regret not selling them? Possibly. But for me and my goals, it is a time that I choose to hold those properties long-term to build my wealth and to build my rental portfolio. Alrighty guys, this is Patrick Stube with Sukup Real Estate Services. If you like these videos, please subscribe, please like, contact me, interact, criticize, comment. It really helps me understand what I'm doing well, what I'm not doing well, how these are helping you, how they're not helping you. And I really enjoy making these. So appreciate you guys watching. Reach out, Instagram, Facebook, email, phone call. This is Patrick Sukup with Sukup Real Estate Services. Have a great day.